Goes on and we are set. So, how do you know when you are burned out as a coach? Joy in a coaching business is not an option. You signed up to be a coach so that you did not, this is not your 9 to 5 job, is it? This is your opportunity to work for yourself, and it damn well better be fun. Okay. So your coaching business is truly the source of the magnetic presence that calls in your clients, that that creative energy that gives you something compelling to produce, and that genuine enthusiasm that makes a sales conversation feel like an invitation rather than a pursuit out of desperation. And all my dear friends are here. I'm going to ask everyone to kindly mute themselves because we can hear you all tapping and all that kind of stuff, and it's just slightly distracting. Anyway, the thing that I want to make sure we understand about today is that when you actually have joy and pleasure in your work, um, we can feel it multidimensionally. It's not really just about your joy. It's about you being able to spread your message far and wide. So when that joy is absent, there's no strategy that's going to make up for it, because what's missing is not a strategy. It's not something that's tactical. It's really about the quality of presence that makes the coach effective and magnetic in the first place. And it's really that quality of presence that makes you stand out. You've got on this call, we've got 9 different women. And when we start, even just by looking at us, you can see that we're 9 different people. We don't look the same. Having that unique energy that is ours is what makes none of us on this call feel even slightly competitive, because we own our presence and we know that's the only thing that we truly need in order to stand out. But when that coaching joy disappears, when it starts to leak away, then we start to struggle. So this is not really about self-care. It is really about business, but the business that starts on the inside. So many coaches reach a point where the work that once excited them starts to feel like a burden. So showing up for clients, producing content, it all starts to wear on you. It becomes a drain. I remember there was a time when I was seeing 25 clients a week, and I was making anywhere from, $150 to $200 per client. So I was making enough money, but I was working so hard for that money. And I don't want to bash hard work. I enjoy hard work, but it was draining and taking more from me than what it was giving. So I want you all today to be thinking about what it is that gives you life and what feels draining for you as we move into today's conversation with our specialist. So I want to introduce our guests today to the Spiritual Business Hour. We have Jennifer Sifert. Jennifer is a financial leadership guide, an energy alchemist, and CPA. We have Renée Ambarees. She's an international best-selling author, speaker, and body identity mentor. She's the creator of Yoga for Face. We have Dame Shmiko Cole. She's an award-winning leadership strategist, a sought-after speaker, and the founder of Get Lit. We have Cindy J Holbrook. She's known as the Visibility Whiz, and she helps coaches, speakers, and purpose-driven business owners create a fun and profitable business. And speaking of fun, we have Irina Portnova. She is a business coach, podcast host, and a creator of the virtual stages. So she helps redefine what it means to grow a business together through connection. We have Lee Forrester. She is a life strategy coach, a best-selling author of Speak, and the creator of the Life Strategy Framework. We have Liz Rankin, who is a retired U.S. Army Sergeant First Class. She's an MBA holder and the author of the book, Girl, Just Make the Damn Decision. And we also have with us today Magdalena Grace. And Magdalena is an incredible soul. She is a womb whisperer, and she's gonna help you. She's gonna help you tone your yoni. Don't know what a yoni is? She's gonna tell you about that in a minute. So, ladies, welcome to the Spiritual Business Hour. And my name, by the way, is Lynn Bell. So, what I want to do right now is just tuck into our questions as we do whenever we're on the call. And you ladies get to just kind of raise your hand and let me know that you want to speak, and then I'll highlight you when you want to answer the question. We're not going to try to get everybody to answer the same question. I have a bunch of questions that I'd love for you all to participate in. So just come in when you feel ready, okay? So, here's the first question. Can you share with us a specific moment when coaching stopped feeling exciting for you? What was going on with you or your business at that time? Who wants to start? Go ahead, Cindy, right on.
It's the absolute message of my business: create a fun and profitable business. I started my coaching career in 2008 as a divorce coach. When I started collaborating with other experts, I became an accidental dating coach. I was earning six figures, but I wasn't happy. I didn't feel fulfilled. Not that there's anything wrong with being a dating coach, but it definitely did not fulfill me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was at that time I really realized the importance of having a very clear, specific core message or mission statement that will answer every question. Is this a good opportunity or is it not? Should I collaborate with this person or should I not? Because whenever you start collaborating with a lot of other experts that don't have your audience, you can find yourself in a demanding position. Like, all these divorced women really wanted to know how to date. I created programs, I sold one-on-one coaching, I was doing all the things, but because I wasn't seeing that human transformation, I felt like I was wasting my time. So it definitely was not joyful. However, that's what led me to what I do now, being Cindy J, the Visibility Whiz, and helping clients create their own fun and profitable businesses by utilizing strategies that are aligned with their personal strengths, beliefs, and values.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that, Cindy. That's so insightful and just it's so wonderful to hear your own story. Would someone else like to, Renee, I see you. Yes, Renee, please let us know your perspective. I think you're muted. Can you see how to get? Yep, there we go.
I followed the instructions.
Thank you.
So here's the thing: as I'm also just like everything has to be playful, and I started my business because of everybody was asking, "What have you done with your face?" So here's the thing, and this is why I'm so disciplined, and this is what I'm teaching, and what I see that is the biggest mistake I made, and I see every woman that is going in the coaching business. The moment you think you are so important and you just have the extra energy that you can serve another client or another whoever first, and you stop putting yourself first. And this is why I'm so disciplined. It's just like it starts in the morning, because this is where you can see when you fall out. It's just like it becomes visible. The moment you stop putting yourself first and having your pleasure, your business will.
Wow.
That was the biggest mistake. What I was thinking, because it's an ego thing. When you think just like, oh, I have everything, it's just like cool, and now I'm needed, or just like, so I made it. So this is just like the little tiny things where you don't just like overpace, and where you have to be very careful. So you come first, your pleasure comes first, and then your business can flourish, because otherwise you don't have time.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much, Renee, for sharing that so beautifully. And I can totally, absolutely relate to that. Magdalena, did I see your hand up? Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. For me, similarly to the first woman, I had lost all the joy because I was a workaholic. I became a workaholic. I was a closet alcoholic. I had just killed all of my pleasure and I didn't understand why. I was at a rock bottom, dark night of the soul moment in 2020 during the pandemic, making 20 to 40K months, having a full team and all of this kind of stuff. And I didn't know what was going on. And I was told by a mentor to go heal and play with psychedelics and do a bunch of things that led me to what I do now. I realized I had a lot of ancestral wounds around worthiness. My husband at the time, now my ex-husband, my husband, he was also part what I needed to get rid of to find joy again, but that's another story for another time. But I had so much patriarchal dogma, like I have to work hard. I'm too much. I can't be me. I've got to wear all these masks, like the good girl. And I felt like an outcast and such a loser. So I had a lot of shame, guilt, abandonment, and grief all stuck up in my womb and my lower three chakras, which is where all the masculine patriarchal stuff can be stuck. So once I became the womb whisperer, got back into my self-pleasure practice. Hello, I had shut that down in my sexually shut down marriage as well. I recognized that that's where my abundance lies, is in my truth. My freak flag could fly and I could be passionate again. And just the energy came back, the joy came back. And now I get to help women be liberated through that same process.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful, wonderful. Ladies, thank you so much. These insights are so good, and I'm not commenting on them because I want to make sure that I give you all a stage. But I'm just so grateful that you all are willing to bring such depth. So, um, would anyone like to share the first sign that they had that they were losing the joy in their work? And I know that this is probably just for a period. I see you, Shmiko. Let's have Dame Shmiko come up here and share when she maybe felt that she lost joy in her work.
Wow. Thank you for that. I think when I stopped feeling just fun and realizing it, I actually pretty much traded a corporate America job for a business that became a job. And for me, I genuinely wanted to give back. I wanted time and freedom. I spent 29 years in that space, and I really wanted to be able to have the time and freedom and be able to travel. So for me, in my heart, the joy started to, even though I'm so passionate about what I do, it became almost, think about it, in business, we were putting out fires as eloquently put earlier. And that's where I thrive. I can get it done and get it done the next time. But I also started to realize really quickly, as others, eloquently mentioned, I started to bring things from corporate America into my business. And I needed to unravel that. I needed to unlearn some, I used to call them bad habits, but now I understand that they are, your life lessons. But then how do you bring that into the community more than anything? How do you bring it back to those that want to learn from you? In mentorship. And then the last part is, we go and we go and we go and we need spaces like these amazing young ladies here, where freedom definitely isn't found in owning a business. Freedom is found in designing one. And as we've been designing over time, what we're learning is we have to go back as women, especially, and reevaluate, as everyone has said, the balance. What makes you smile? Where's that passion?
Yes. Oh, gosh. So true though, right? The amount of the depth of wisdom that's coming through, and what I'm hearing is that we need to reprioritize, and that we come into this with passion and joy, but it's easy to get burdened by all the work that needs to be done. And I can relate to whoever said I am a workaholic. Okay, I am right here with you, and that's really very, very powerful. Thank you. Anybody else want to share their first signs of that when they were losing joy in their work? Jennifer, please.
Here we go. I'm unmuted. So in shamanism, when do you know, it's kind of like looking at, when do you stop listening to music? When do you stop dancing? When, those are good signs. And for me, those are number one signs. And I'm happy to say, like, I went to a CD store on the weekend and I stocked up on some new CDs to put in my truck because I noticed I was just not listening to music. I was just, being quiet too much.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, so much inspiration came in. I got a Stevie Nicks CD. Wow.
Ooh.
Like not Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, and she is powerful.
Yes.
Anyway, I think what also happens is money. Okay.
Ooh.
There is so much money pressure out there. And I know that for me, it's not that I'm not excited about my work, but what starts happening is personal pressure comes in, but also money pressure starts eroding at me. And I'm still happy and joyful to come to work. It's actually my saving grace. But when I'm not at work, I'm coping somehow. I'm not sleeping very good. I'm not doing my practices because I just don't feel good. But the work is what's bringing me joy, So there can be this other way that losing pleasure or having stress is causing something in your business, but it's happening kind of on your personal time. It's happening on your personal time.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you for that honesty. A lot of coaches don't like to talk about money pressure out in public, but of course that's Jennifer's world. She knows how to deal with it. She knows how to deal with it very well. so that's what her work is, being an energy alchemist. Liz, are you wanting to say something on that? Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, it wasn't like something that smacked me in the face. I think it's built over time where you start to lose joy by comparing yourself to others. Maybe you're following too many coaches, too many other experts, getting their advice. You're constantly attending trainings. You're going on their YouTube. You're looking at their Facebook and you're like, I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. And then you're doing all the things and you completely forgot internally why you're doing this, what you're doing it for. You're trying to almost perform in a way. And I feel like it's slowly eroded over time. It wasn't like, hey, this is the day that you're just overwhelming yourself and following too many experts. It was like, looking back, it was like the last 3 months, I just haven't feel as joyous. It's almost like a toxic relationship. You know how it builds and then you're like, whoa, what happened? I got to get out of here. So I think joy leaves quietly and you don't realize it until it's like, okay, I need to do something about it. What can I do? So that's my version of my story.
Beautiful. Let me ask y'all something. Does anybody take joy in content creation and all the things that we do, building out the funnel, building out the marketing? Who gets joy in that? Everybody does. Who wants to talk about the joy of that and what that looks like and what that looks like in a balanced way? Irina.
I love that because again, if we talk about that we are doing something we love to do, we gotta put, and I feel that we are all actually expanding when we are in creativity mode, right? This is something because I feel what most coaches getting burnt out is for the marketing and sales calls, right? When we talk about being in creative mode, when we are designing something and when we are actually getting creative and adventurous about it, this is something that really where our energy is bursting and when we are showing up at our best. So the way what works for me is to bring this joy in any interaction, right? And also when we talk about fun, how do people attract to us? Not because we feel exhausted, not because we are saying something is hard. They are attracted to us because they look at us and they see something that they would love to have as well. Meaning that, freedom, meaning that lightness, lightheartedness, that fun, that experience, right? So again, when we can actually transmit that energy through us, that's exactly when we are showing up at our best, and that's how people magnetize by us. So fun and joy is part of the experience, and I think we already covered that last time, Crystalline, right? Like I said, that we always want to neutralize something when we feel that something has some heaviness to that.
Yeah.
The best approach is to stay curious.
That is such
This
wisdom.
is such a shift of energy right there, right? Rather than just saying, like, I can't believe, these people, nobody's engaging, nobody is buying, right? Rather than taking it out, just come back to yourself, to your power, and actually say, what can I do differently?
Yeah.
So people are more engaging, right? Because again, it's all our responsibility.
Yeah.
When we understand that everything what we are creating is our responsibility, whether we like it or not, when we are honest with ourselves, all it takes is continue tapping to the desired results step by step. And again, if we are curious, if we are just, enjoying, embracing, talking more to people, right? Rather than, okay, nobody is buying, but staying curious and asking, what would make you buy from me, right? If you're saying no, so what would be something that say yes? Because again, unless we start collecting some data, we do not know what to change.
Really beautifully said. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Irina.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Magdalena.
I was going to say I lost my joy during that same period. It kind of goes with your last question. It felt like work because I wasn't coming from feminine flow, creative inspiration. I was trying to compare myself to other coaches. I was being all things to all people pleasing at home, but also in my content. I was like thinking, oh, well, this I can't talk about, right? I can't talk about that because that's too witchy, too much, too woo. And so I would try to do all of the masculine, good girl, right things. And sure enough, that would just make me go into a downward spiral of shame and guilt and fear. And then before you know it, I didn't want to create content anymore. And I'd be into doom scrolling or hiding behind social media DMs instead of picking up the phone. And like for me, I know I'm happiest when I'm smiling and dialing and trying to be a light out into the world and not also only on social media. So kind of finding that balance for me of being in the flow of what do I want to create? What do I believe? And what do I want to give and birth into the world?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Ladies, I want to pause here for a moment. Now, it's Monday and we are broadcasting on the women's we are broadcasting on the women's Women Helping Women entrepreneur group. Yeah. And on Mondays, so Mondays and Thursdays we're in the group and we are able to actually live stream. So I'm really happy to be able to do that. We have to stop though. We have a hard stop. So we're going to keep this session going, but we are going to have to disconnect. But before we do, I want to invite you, especially if you are in the Women Helping Women's Entrepreneur Group, I want to invite you to join us for the Liberated Coach Summit. All of the speakers that you have just heard from that are on this call with me, they are experts, and you hear the depth of their intelligence, their wisdom, their femininity, their experience. These are the women that you want to lead you to your next level. They can take you there. The Liberated Coach Summit is absolutely free to join. There are these women and 12 other speakers that are a part of the summit. Each speaker has an interview and each speaker has a free gift to offer you to help take you to your next level. So please, there's a link in the show description and there's a link in the comments. Please sign up to join us for the Liberated Coach Summit. All right. Thank you so much for that. Now, let me get you all with another question here. And actually, just kind of picking up on what we left off with, have you ever taken on a client that you maybe were questioning whether they were a good fit, but you did it because you needed the income? And what did that decision cost you? What did that decision cost you? All right, go right ahead, Liz. I see you. Go ahead.
So many things. So I used to coach women leaving a toxic relationship myself, I used to coach women, help them to find their confidence, their joy after having a toxic relationship. And a lot of times, if I didn't meet the woman right on the journey where she's already left the relationship and she's ready to heal, and, you know, it was a money thing at first. I was like, I need income and I need proof. I need my first clients. So I would take a woman who is either not fully out of the relationship or she's in that going back and forth mode, like, oh, I still want to be with him. Man, that was a struggle. That is such a struggle because I feel the pain for one and I really want to help them. But knowing who I was when I was in that same mindset that they were, I know what the tug is going back and forth. So once I found a clear, okay, this is where my client is on the journey, this exact pinpoint, that is when I knew, okay, anybody this further, I'm not able to serve, like not at the highest regard that I want to provide to my clients.
Absolutely. It's very interesting. I love this question. Jennifer, go right ahead.
One time I gave like a 6-week program to a silent auction. And another time somebody bought their husband a program with me. Those people would not go deep.
Right.
They just stayed at the surface. And I want to help. I want to help. So there wasn't anything I could really do. I mean, I would ask them questions to help them go deeper, but they just absolutely wouldn't. And so there was the transformation that they wanted didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had no interest in re-enrolling them either.
No, absolutely.
And so it was whenever somebody else's bought for somebody, or I gave it away as a silent auction. So I'll never do that again. You know, it's like, it's almost not worth it to give it away for free because people aren't willing to go deep if they don't pay for it.
Right. And if they don't know your work as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cindy, please go ahead.
I have to share a little backstory per se. Sometimes with my voice, I've had pronouncing things. I've had some really bad experiences in my life. I have a combination of a Southern and a New York accent. Thank you, parents, which has, created some interesting words out of my mouth.
Nice.
So when I first became a coach, I was a coach for divorced women, and I got this client, and every single time we would have a session, she would literally yell at me for the way that I pronounced woman versus woman. And I was thinking, coaching isn't for me. I can't handle this. I would cry after each and every session. And I thought, okay, I might as well just go back to work to social services because this just is not cutting it. It gave me a lot of self-doubt. It definitely was decreasing my confidence. And then my coach told me, fire her. I go, really? I can fire her? Yay. Actually, we had it was a very amicable separation. I said, hey, I don't think you are getting anything out of my coaching because you are so hung up on my voice. And so therefore, I'm just not the right coach for you. So I'd like to cancel our contract and free you to go find somebody who really can help you. And that was a huge learning experience for me that, we always talk about our ideal clients and we do all the stuff about who they are. But one of the things is, number one, they have to love us. And the people that love us and accept us aren't going to worry about how we're mispronouncing something. So, but it was a great lesson for me because now I'm just me and you can take me or leave me, or you can love me or not. If you don't love me, I'm not yours. I'm not meant to serve you.
Beautiful. What a lovely, wonderful, heartfelt story that I can relate to. Very, very, very much so. Thank you for sharing that. I love it when coaches get vulnerable and they share the hard stuff, that I can see in myself. Absolutely. So I've got another question. What specific thing did you change in your own business or in your own self that brought the joy back? And I'm looking for a decision here. Shmiko, did I see you raise your hand?
You sure did on that one.
Okay,
Sure
go
did.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
Wow. One of the biggest decisions I think coaches and leaders and CEOs forget is that they need coaches and leaders and decision makers. And I heard eloquently from many of the women here how they have a coach and they have a space. And that was one of the spaces as a product of an Asian parent. You don't ask for help. We were very driven. It was a process. And I learned really quickly in business ownership, especially as I was scaling, that I also needed that. I needed someone in our space that could take some of the things off of your shoulders and help you with that time and freedom. And more importantly, help you help the clients at the capacity that you choose. Everyone here loves who they work with in this now, but we all have gone through a journey where we also realized the type of clients we did not want to work with. But what we learned also in that process as a life learner, I'm one of those individuals, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, but also have to learn to be the opposite of that, to be the person on the other side as I'm teaching, that I'm also being very intentional about following my own words and my own guidance, because you're growing and you're elevating in business. And it takes a village, it takes a community, it takes a space like this to find out that we all need a voice of reason or wisdom or knowledge, or more importantly, in their expertise. So yes, please help me get out of my own way.
Yeah, beautiful, Shmiko. Lovely. Thank you so much for that. Does anybody else want to share that? Liz, I see you. Mm-hmm.
Yes, as a decision coach, I'm all for this question. I think you have to decide. And one big promise I made to myself after my divorce was always trust my gut, always trust my intuition. And when we're making decisions in our business, and when the joy starts to leak out, it's because the decisions you felt in your body that they likely were the wrong decision, but you went with it. Maybe you heard it from somebody else. Maybe it was the trending thing at the time, so you did it. But for me, I was like, every time something comes up, I am making a decision based off of what my body responds. Like your gut, your intuition, everything is working together. And sometimes as women, we ignore that. We cannot ignore that. And you have to remember the word decide means to cut off every other options. So I would make a decision, I would write it down, and I would say, everything else is off the table. This decision that I made, setting the boundary or moving in this direction, this was the decision. Everything else is not even an option anymore. So I stick firmly to that, and it's working pretty good.
Wow, beautiful. I love that. I felt that decision. I felt that the decision is cutting everything off. I felt that when you said it, man. That's excellent. Irina, I see you.
I love everything what ladies are sharing. It's true wisdom. It's like we are learning from each other as well. So for me was really to start niching down, because I remember, like initially, especially in the online space, there is so much noise. It's different from being a coach in person, or all these, creativity that you are putting where you are going in person versus online. So online, what I learned for myself, the more specific you are, the better your voice is heard. Because again, if we talk to everyone, we are not talking to anyone. So for me, the biggest decision was like moving from general space of manifestation. That part I just kind of moved together with a strategy where I just decided to coach coaches and healers. That is the niche that I'm actually working. And it's interesting because once you fine tune, it doesn't mean that you can't work with others, whoever comes your way. You just still keep open, but the way you bring people in is very specific, right? And then you can offer them, the whole palette of everything what you know.
Beautiful, Irina. Thank you. I felt that in my heart as well. Lots of wonderful connection here.
Yep.
Now, ladies, I want to pause a moment. I want to check in with our coach Lee. And I'm going to ask her specifically because I noticed that she's here, but I haven't given her enough space to come in with her wisdom as well. And I want to do that. And Coach Lee, would you like to share on any part of this that we've been talking about, whether it's losing your joy or how to get that joy back?
Yeah, so thank you, and really appreciate all the input that's been here already. I think in the early part of the year, I did a little rebranding. So I feel like I'll definitely always be a life learner, and I love. So that's very important to me. And she helped me to kind of niche down and get super focused on what I was doing and ask me the questions I was not asking myself. Because we all, I think, have our blind spots. So that was very helpful. And in terms of the joy part, I will listen to how I feel about something. And one of the things that's helped me is in helping other women unleash their joy, so to speak, in themselves as I coach them, is to make sure that my joy is unleashed also. What do like because when your business is not working so greatly, you might see, or what you might want to do more things, do more, create more, build more things. But sometimes it's the other way. So I would say do a pleasure audit. What do you need? Likely your client needs the same thing, but do an audit and see what's missing, what fell off that you did in your life before that's now missing. And one of the things I think that's worked best for me is to really, it sounds selfish and women tend not to want to do this, but do what really feels good to you. Do those things. What if it's something you're eating, something you're wearing, it's something you're putting on your skin, it's a place that you're going, it's a thing that you're doing. Like really seek that out. I think we put that on the back burner, like we'll do that one day, but today is that one day. It's today and it's now. So do that thing. And for me, it's some of those things might be considered childish. But I love that part of myself. That's a part of myself that didn't get exercised enough. So I bring those things in to give me joy. So I'm my authentic self as I go out into the world and work with other women.
Wow, that's really beautiful. I love how you brought in the inner child, which is so important in our work as coaches. I remember when I was young, my spirit guides were always saying, "You're going to work with kids, you're going to work with kids." And I was always like, I hate kids. And when I was a kid, I was like, I hate kids. And when I got to be a teenager, I'm like, I'm not ever having no kids. And I got to be an adult. I was like, I'm not ever having any kids. And then I started working with people, and what's the first thing we worked with? The inner child. And I'm like, Spirit, you were not lying to me. I really do work with children. And that was how my coaching career began. Like, rescuing inner children from wounded trauma. So, ladies, what does a coach who has lost her joy actually look like to her potential clients? So what are they picking up on that she may not be aware of? Cindy.
It's definitely your energy. I believe oftentimes, you have to ask yourself why you've lost the joy. Is it that you just don't like doing something? If you truly love the content you're creating and you truly love what you're doing, there's a lot of things you're going to really enjoy about it. But I find what happens is we're always morphing. None of us do exactly the same thing today that we did when we started our businesses. And it's just like the caterpillar crawling into the I can never say the word. Chrysalis, yes, the chrysalis. You're in this in-between period, and it's very hard to be in that in-between period. And I find oftentimes the best thing to do is to pause and to rest and ask, what is emerging? Because if you've lost your joy, I honestly believe something else is emerging, and you're just in the chrysalis there, and it's tight and it's cramped and it's not a fun place. But then once you've emerged, you have your wings and you can fly to the next level of who you are becoming.
That's a lovely, lovely analogy or metaphor. Really nice. I knew you were going to wait. Renee, was that you saying that you want to be seen? Do you want to talk right now? Because I knew you were going to. But she also did it as an applause, so I get that. Wait, oh, honey, you're muted.
Okay. It's
Thank you.
showing up in your face. If you lose your pleasure, it's showing up in your face.
Mhm.
And you're even not able to stay in the present moment. And you are also then not able to connect because you're not connected to yourself. And it's mostly really how you treat yourself. Are you nurturing? Are you loving what you see in the mirror? It's just like really, you are not connected from head to toe. If you are not just like in love with yourself, this is when it comes to really presence and authenticity. What are you sharing?
Mhm.
You want to inspire, and we teach with our bodies without words.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Irina.
You know what? I just wanted to share. I was at one networking event a while ago, and they are doing the breakout room. And here I come and I see this woman. She's like, very gloomy. And it says for her title, happiness coach.
Oh, gosh.
I started to laugh internally. I was thinking, you know what? I would never hire her as my happiness coach, right? So it just kind of a reminder that we want to check in with ourselves, right? The way we show up. So if we are teaching and preaching something, that means, even if we are not showing up this way, maybe it just asking ourselves, right? What can we do differently in order to express what we are here to teach, right?
Yeah.
So it was just, funniest experience for myself. And that's true. A lot of times we might be focusing so much on logic. How do we present to check in all the boxes? And then we are wondering, how come we don't have the results? Because results are not just emerging from being right and doing all the do things. It's actually happening when we are in that joy, when we are in that flow, when we are in that excitement energy.
When we're in the world, living in the world.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Just like, do you teach what you live?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
A script. This is that, and I think this is going to be the biggest thing, specific when it comes to AI. How we can make a difference as a coach, as a human. Yeah. Thank you, Irina.
Yes, because honey, AI can't come out and dance a jig, okay? AI cannot give us a massage, okay? AI cannot wipe our tears away and hold our hair when we get sick. I'm just saying that we need humans and we want the humanity. And all due respect to AI because I be loving my AI images, okay? All right, ladies. So let me ask one more question to the group, okay? I want to ask one more question to the group. Actually, I have two questions that I want to ask, but let's see if we get through this one. Is there something that the coaching industry itself does that systematically suppresses the pleasure of coaches over time? What is the coaching industry doing to us that is suppressing the pleasure of coaches over time? Does anybody want to take that on? I'll start talking about what I see and kind of what inspired this. I feel like the coaching industry has some lies that it tells. And I think that those lies set people, women especially, up for failure. I think that the coaching industry, when people say, oh, we're going to make, you should be doing this within, your first 3 months and you can make your first 100K in your first year and all that. I think that that's, oh, the $10,000 month, like, oh, how you're going to have consistent $10,000 months. Well, that's not even a thing that really can physically even happen because that's not even how coaching works, I mean, even I teach my clients, let's work toward quarterly goals. Where you're going to, let's aim for something over this quarter, and don't try to earn your money every month. You may not be doing it that way. So that's one of the lies that I find, and I think that causes an issue. Shmiko, I saw your hand up.
For me, coming from corporate and retail management and into business ownership, it was the moving of the needle. I feel like constantly the needle was being moved in a specific space, and we weren't given, as you've said, enough information, or more importantly, what does that look like to move in a community that needs it the most? Many of us women, we learn very, very well from each other. And what we've learned in that nurturing space is we don't have to move the needle in a specific area. You started this off, all of you all beautiful women here started that off very eloquently. Like, we're here with different expertise, and sometimes things overlap, but what we learned is not to compete in that. And what we find, me coming from male dominating industries previously, they were constantly moving the needle. So when you hit the glass ceiling, you didn't know how to break it. And so that knowledge of, getting more information, learning, but more importantly, just understanding how us as a community and collectively, we can learn from each other how to do things better. And again, when we know better, we can do better.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. That's really well said. Who else wants to jump on that? Renee.
So specific for us women, when somebody is bringing pressure on us and tells us how we have to run our business. So this kills our total genius, because and this is what my biggest mistake was, because my business was starting from, I was guided at what everything was blooming and unfolding in a just like magnetic way. And then just like some marketers would just like try to put me in a box. And this is where it's done. If you are like really want to just like go with your spirit, and you want to make it, and you want to have this real business that is soul based, then don't compete.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Here, I felt it in my whole body system when they tried to put me in a box, and that was pain. And even all my clients were reaching out, and something's changing. This is not you. This is why the thing of about words. You have to live your authentic truth.
Yeah, really well said. Magdalena, I saw you had your hand up.
I love this question because I fell prey to this myself, and it was a great lesson, part of my dark night of the soul journey, that I believe like the core goes back to the self-help movement. And I'm not like down on Think and Grow Rich, but I'm over it. Okay. It's so masculine energy. It's so cookie cutter. Get into a box, go to another freaking conference or Tony Robbins thing, and like, again, all do, go, push the sales script. So more left brain than right brain, and truly head versus heart. And so since most everyone I believe on this is listening as women, females, or who identify as women, we have wombs, we have yonis, we have water and love and power and compassion and energy that we just feel into it, instead of reading another frickin' self-help book that tells us follow the rules and this is first thing, second step, third step, all of those types of things. It's really more about feeling into it, as opposed to just reading another book and doing another thing. It's more about being the woman that you are.
Nice. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Now I'm going to just pop in here because my little ego just got wounded, because I am so systematic. All right. I am so systematic, and the Virgo moon in me, Aquarius, Virgo. All right. So very structured, very organized. And I want to just say that I agree 100%. No woman should be told how to run her business. But what I'm going to just throw out there is that structure and systems are helpful. We need infrastructure and we do need systems, but they should be led by the woman's intuition, and they should fit every individual person, not cookie cutter. Everybody does it the same way. Yeah.
1,000%. Can I add to that? Because I'm a double Virgo, just so you know, and I have a Mercury in Virgo, like all of the Virgo. So thank you for that. My thing that I teach my clients and I live myself is the sacred marriage, the sacred union of the feminine and the masculine within. So yeah, I'm with you. It's just your question led to like, what is the lie? And it's all masculine all the time.
Absolutely.
And we've got to bridge, and that's the new paradigm, right? The divine feminine awakening on the planet. We're getting rid of the wounded, toxic masculine. Also, I might want to add, we want a healthy feminine, healthy masculine.
Absolutely. Thank you for adding that in there. Yes, yes. And I'm sorry, let me get Cindy J in here real quick because she threw it in, and then we'll get to you, Renee, okay?
No, I absolutely agree with everything. It all comes down to so many people saying, if you do exactly what I tell you to do, and this is both men and women, I know women using their masculine energy, then you're going to succeed. And a lot of people buy into that and they throw away their retirement funds. Like I had an 84-year-old once tell me that they spent all their money and had to file bankruptcy. They spent all their retirement and refinanced their house and did all this stuff trying to build their thing. And looking back and getting to know this person, they was never taught strategies that aligned with them. They were never taught the basics of business, coaching in itself. So a lot of people are trying to build these cookie cutter systems, but they don't have the foundation. They're building the walls and the roofs, but not the foundation of their house.
You know, Cindy, I just on Saturday, Renee and Jennifer and I got on. We did a special version of the Liberated Coach Summit Spiritual Business Hour thing, and we opened up your gift for the summit. We opened up your summit gift, and I did the quiz online. Okay, and yeah, it was really good. And what I'm learning is that Cindy is very much about understanding what your strategy is, like what is your way, right? So I learned that I'm a writer. And so that the best way for me to be creating content is to write, because that's what's natural to me and that's what I love. She has a quiz that's on the Liberated Coach Summit, and you can take that quiz to find out your best way to present, to create your content, so that you're not working in a way that is unnatural. I got writing and speaking as my best ways. Yeah, really nice. Did anybody else want to answer this question before we start our wind down? Renee.
I want to say something to it because Saturday was so good. And Cindy, that is just like an example for structure. Don't be scared about structure. Structure is something that is important. And here, the number 4 is the structure. But you need a structure that you can lean onto, that you can relax. This is
relax into.
And to understand what is the structure of your system. And this is where you have to just like go and dig a little bit deeper to understand how your system is working. But structure is what helps you to expand, to let go. So you need both. And this is where also we have to understand what is the masculine energy in the free version and what is the feminine in the free version. And then it becomes the magic. So learning and knowing how you want to rule the world, that's the whole game.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Does anybody else want to chime in on that last question there before we move on? Yes, Jennifer.
So I just want to share here, like, I've been in business on my own for over 3 years. But all of my career experience, and I was an entrepreneur as a CPA, a consultant as well. When I started before I jumped out of the firm business and went on my own, and I started coaching. I started getting coaching, learning, speaking, marketing, content creation, because I didn't know how to do any of that. All the clients were just, I didn't have to find clients before. And I wanted to be ready. And then when I jumped on my own, I was advised to do that at the time by my coaches, which I would say they were off a little bit there too. Like, that wasn't good advice. But the thing is Cindy said it good. You can't put the roof on anything if there's no walls or foundation. So when you're building a business, there is this foundational thing. And I know that when I before I even got coaching, I built my own website, and my tagline was like, align with your true self. Well, I went through branding. I spent $30,000 with a branding person, and it was very beneficial. But, you know, when it comes right back down to it, I'm still about align with your true self. Like, you know, what Renee is saying is like, you don't go with what's inside of you. Liz has said it. Coach Leah said it. Every one of us has said it. Is like, what is it in you? Other people will have their systems for you, but you have to stay true to what you are. And sometimes part of the coaching that you're getting to build your coaching business is the inner work to help you really get comfortable with who you are, because we've been told so many lies about ourselves. Don't say that. Don't scare people with that. And like, my gift, my quiz is asking hard questions to help you really get clear about yourself. What do you do? How come you don't look at your bank statement? How come you're not paying yourself? You know, not about why somebody else isn't doing it. No, what about you is not doing it?
Yeah. I think that was so important. That was another gift that we opened on Saturday. And we're going to start wrapping up here. The Liberated Coach Summit is on now, and it ends Friday. And wait, I think it ends Saturday. It ends Saturday. So there are 20 speakers. Each one of our guests today is a speaker at the event, and there's a recorded video. They also offer a gift that is going to help you get closer to them. Everyone that's here has something of value for you, and I want you to have that, because everything has helped me, and I want you to get the help that you need as well to build your business. There are links. Go ahead and sign up now. What I want to do is give our speakers that are here right now an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell you how they can help you, and tell you what their gift is at the summit. All right. And I want to start with our newest guest, because she's new. And you know everybody else. You know all of us. You know me. You know Jennifer. You know Renee. Okay. You know Cindy, Liz, and Coach Lee, because they're founding members of the Spiritual Business Hour. You all have heard from us and all of us before, but you've not heard from Dame Shmiko very much, and she's here today. I want to let her start. So Dame Shmiko, will you please tell us how you help people and what your gift is? We're just going to do this to wrap us up in the last couple of minutes here, okay?
Great. I'll just love to give it back to everybody here, and it kind of ties into what Jennifer mentioned. It's building solid foundations. It's understanding and having the hard conversations. And more importantly, I think each of us have had experiences from different levels. For someone that has built big boxes from the ground up, built distribution centers from the ground up, built strip malls, I understand the process of building a strong foundation, because it's going to hold a lot of weight. So for me, it's more of building legacy at this stage in my life, is the best way I could describe it, giving back to community, and more importantly, helping people with the 7 steps of what that looks like in their vision to actually create and utilize specialties like Jennifer and Cindy and everyone else. Because what you find is when the foundation is strong, you can build strong. So for me, I created a nice little journal. It takes people through the mind of someone that has built multiple 7-figure companies through not just from my career, but also through business ownership for the last 14 years. But I reminded myself in that journal, that is a free gift to the community here, is how you give back is what that looks like. And I want to be able to give that acknowledgement to you and giving us a space to come, not just bring our voice, bring our expertise, but also bring gifts to the community that need it the most. So my journal is listed under the playwithmiko.com, and it is a space for you. It's in your back office, and please sign up, come through the Liberated, understand what each of these beautiful spirits and souls can give to you, and build big. It doesn't have to be with me, it doesn't have to be with the group that's here, but be that person that's going to take the first step to take an ownership on not just your business, but how you serve your clients. So great job today. Great job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shmiko. Yeah, really wonderful for everyone. Thank you very much. So why don't we go ahead now to Liz? Liz, why don't you tell us what your gift is and also how you help people?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for this amazing summit. It was nice. The room is full, and I felt so fulfilled with speaking with everybody and putting our gifts out there into the world. My gift to you all is a workbook, and it kind of goes with my book, Girl, Just Make the Damn Decision. It helps women go through all things, whether it's your life, your faith, your relationship, your business, all things that make you joyous in life. You'll be able to work through the workbook, different questions that come up, the hard questions as we talked about today, that maybe you're avoiding, but also it builds the momentum for you to take action. So actually take action on your life is what you need to do to be able to find that joy and find the happiest place in your life.
Beautiful. Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much. And Coach Lee, would you like to share how you help people and what your gift is?
Yeah, so my gift is a guide, and it's the Unleashed Coach. I love that word, unleashed, because it's something I learned to do in my own life. And so that's unleashing your own voice and hearing yourself, and you already know what it is you want, and to choose that for yourself. I work with you in getting deep in the things that we are thinking. In that way, we're going to think about what we think and what we are saying to ourselves first and foremost, so that we can really kind of go deep, which is what we've been talking about here today. Everybody's kind of tapped in on that, and tackle the things that are holding us back or slowing us down or keeping us shackled from that we're really aiming for and wanting to do in our personal lives, in our business lives, in our coaching spaces. And so we're gonna talk about the things that you don't want to talk about, but we're gonna talk about them.
Excellently. Thank you so much. Wonderful. All right. Cindy J, the Visibility Whiz. How do you help people, and what's your gift for us?
I help people build the foundations of their business to create a fun and profitable business. And so much of that starts with client attraction, utilizing strategies that are really aligned with your personal gifts, your strengths, your beliefs, your values. So I've created a quiz, Discover Your Client Attraction Style. There's 7 different styles. Once you discover your client attraction style, you get a guide, a blueprint, telling you what your strengths are of that style, what challenges you face, and also some different prompts that you can utilize in social media. And then around the 3rd or the 4th day after you take the quiz in the nurture sequence, you're also going to get a second guide that shows you how your secondary styles can increase your results in your primary client attraction style. So that's my gift.
Great.
Discover your client attraction style. It takes about 3 minutes to take the quiz, and lots of really good, valuable information to help you move forward.
Exactly. Yeah, I did it. It was fun. It was helpful. Nice. Thank you. All right, Renée Ambarees, how do you help? How do you help people, and what's your gift?
So get out of your mind and come in the present moment. So I'm here for the presence leadership and for the embodiment shift. So, and I have 4 magic moves. They're getting you out of any trouble situations, emotional, to find peace, to accept the present moment and learn to set boundaries and awake your best smile. Because Tia, that's posture in your face, and you can train that so that you can receive your divine energy from heaven.
Beautiful, Renée, beautiful. I know you all want these gifts. Last but not least, here's Jennifer Sifert. Jennifer, how do you help women or how do you help people? And what's your gift?
Well, I help you take the gambling out of your business. And I know gambling because I come from a horse racing family.
Oh.
And lots of accountants or schools out there will say that entrepreneurship is risk-taking, but it's not gambling. You can be very strategic about it, but you are gambling when you're not current, with your money situation in your business. It's so important to be really current with every arm of your business, but the money is critical because there's so many of us that have subconscious patterns that we inherited from our parents, society, and this ancestral line that we are in the process of cleaning up. Yeah. And when you're distracted, avoiding, doubting, in debt, not paying yourself every 2 weeks or a month, you're not taking good care of yourself. So my quiz helps you to see where you need to start looking at your money and take a very small step, and it will help you. That step, taking the quiz, it's 1 minute, will help you to see better.
Yeah, and I look forward to the next step because I took the quiz and had to confront myself. So I will be taking the next step myself. And, I am also a presenter at my own summit here. And I have a gift also. My gift is called the 5 Shackles quiz. And really, it is the kind of foundational step that you need to take for the summit. There are 5 shackles that are holding you back. And we're all dealing with them. The question is, to what degree? So there's a shackle around your mind, a shackle around your time, a shackle around your business, around your money, and around your pleasure. And I created the quiz so that you could, start a conversation with yourself around these shackles, so that you could look at yourself and look at your mind and say, where am I holding myself back with my beliefs? So that you could look at your time and say, where am I not spending my time doing things that are giving me energy, but maybe I'm putting out fires or creating more trouble for myself? Where you could look at the shackle around your business and ask yourself, well, where am I holding back my business? Where am I thinking small and not allowing my business to actually grow into its greatest potential? So the quiz, the 5 Shackles quiz, is very much there for everyone to learn about themselves. And as you go forward listening to the speakers, it is an opportunity for you to kind of be guided, knowing where you might have some weak spots so that you can find strength for yourself. All right, so that's the Liberated Coach Summit, my friends. I want to thank everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also share it. Share it with your friends, send an email, share the link, put a little love on it. Leave us some comments. You can type #live, #replay. Those are always very helpful for us. And with that, I thank my guests. Thank you all so much for coming. And we will see you all tomorrow. We'll be back. All right. Bye, everybody. Mwah.